Hello, everybody, and welcome to Weighted to Win. A pleasure to be back with you all, and thank you all for the good wishes. And what a pleasure it is tonight, this Thursday, that we're recording the Weighted to Win show, to have PIERE striker Strydom with us, four-time winning jockey of the Vodacom Durban July, and one of the guys who, in fact, the only man in this country to have ridden 5,000 winners. What a great achievement and great memory we all have of that. Striker, welcome to Weighted to Win. Lovely to have you.
Thank you so much. Hopefully I can help you all so we can all make some money.
Good. DARYL, good to have you boys on the show again. Thank you for joining again. I know you've been studying all week.
Yeah, well, I'm chomping at the bit, Clyde. What a race meeting to look forward to. And we've got the assistance of PIERE, so a living legend. Let's hopefully tip the viewers some winners.
DARYN, I know you've been hard against the steel as well, eh?
Yes, very much so. Been studying all week. And yeah, PIERE Strydom, the best jockey of all time in my eyes. So great to have him on the show. Absolutely.
Striker, how are you feeling with your incident and the flashing of the eyes? Because you haven't been around for a while. So what's the latest? Maybe just a quick update from you on that.
Yeah, just quickly, I booked off till the end of October. I've got like a weakness in the retina, and so the gel sort of dissipating, and I'm seeing lighting in the corner of my eye. So obviously I can't take risks now, and just waiting for that to settle down.
Okay, and you're booked off until a couple of months still, you think, until you're out?
End of October.
End of October, is that what they've agreed to? Okay.
Yes.
And your plan ultimately what, to ride another season hopefully? Is that what you want to do?
Well, I wanted to ride obviously in the July, and then I need 11 more winners for 5,500. So
brilliant.
That's like my ultimate goal. And then I wanted to just sort of do a little bit of like a country tour, you know, finish off in each province, and hopefully ride a winner.
Okay, well, we're rooting for you, Butty. No doubt about that. We really are. Hopefully it'll all work out for you and your wonderful family.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is just quickly show the guys as far as the scratchings and card changes, etc. are concerned. We'll show that to you, and we'll start up with the what would you call it, the card changes, and take a look at that very quickly. So there we go. As far as scratchings are concerned, guys, that's what we've got. Race 3, number 4, pack leader. Race 5, number 7. Race 6, 11. Race 9, you've got 3 scratchings now in 5, 10, and 17. Remember, this is being recorded on Thursday evening, so you have to all go back and have a look. As far as jockey changes are concerned, or an advice or the latest update, I can tell you that Marco van Rensburg, race 6, number 15, that's an update that we've got for you. The last race 9, that is number 15 on the card, now Lyle Hewitson, and note that number 16, Gainsford, where it claims draw 5, Grant van Niekerk has put up 1 over. Just a reminder, as far as the event is concerned, that we've got a pick 6 carry over. So look at that, from 5. They're expecting about a 12 million rand pool. That's the plan, to get up to 12 million, and that's why the boys have all been studying. So let's get straight into the market now, and we'll go up to race number 4 on the card, and you guys can have a look at the betting, where Bayberry tops the boards at this point in time. And latest, as far as the market is concerned, you'll see that Bayberry is at 11-2. Smoking Hot is currently trading at 7-1. Double Mint is at 7-1, and 3 Nebraska 9-1, joint with number 10 at Job at 9-1. 12s and bet to the others. It's the DSTV Gold Vase. It's over 3,000 meters. So let me start with you, Striker, as our guest. I think it's only fair. Having a look at it, over 3,000 meters, you're not sure about, you know, at the end of the day, what kind of results the type of races could throw up.
Yeah, this is the type of race where, I mean, it's a big field. Everyone looking for position, but then you have a couple also that have to drop out to the back. I just like Double Mint. I've ridden him before. He was beaten like not many lengths by some of the best horses in the country, and he's a very easy horse to ride. You can place him. He doesn't pull. So you know, Kumalo should have a, how can I say, an easy ride, and that's what you want over these type of trips. And I know he's drawn a little bit wide, but it's quite a long way to get to the bend, and they sort themselves out fairly quickly. And I just think he's my value for the day, Double Mint.
Double Mint. So that's your first choice in the race, is it?
Yeah, and I've always felt that he needs, he can go further. So I don't have a problem with the distance. So Double Mint.
And the kind of pace, I mean, what do you expect of the race? What sort of pace do you think they'll end up going here?
Well, last year past the victory went decent clip, and obviously skipped away. I was quite surprised how it kept going, but obviously I think this year is a little bit harder. But Double Mint, like I said, easy horse to ride. You can be up handy, you can come from the back. So I'm not really worried about the pace for Double Mint.
Okay.
And that's why I would say is my value bet.
So that's the value bet, PIERE Strydom. There's the price, 7-1. All right, let me come to you, Darren. How did you find this the race? How did the Gold Vase?
Well, I found it a very competitive lineup, but my first choice is also going to be Double Mint. He is the class horse in the race. He's best weighted. He stays well, and he's coming on the right way again. He's had the 2 runs in Durban. He improved from one run to the next, and the marathon trip of 3,000 meters isn't going to be a problem. So for me, Double Mint, the horse to beat over a horse like Dream Destiny. Last time in the Derby, he carried 59 kilos with a 73 merit rating. He was well out at the weights, and he came with a late finish to run second behind Silver Host. His rating stays the same at 73 with 50 kilos on his back. I think that brings him into the race. And the outsider of the race I've included is Payback the Money, that over the marathon trip to 3,000 meters, he placed 4th last year in this race and ran 2nd in the Gold Cup. So he could be the surprise package.
Okay. So from your perspective, it could be a competitive first leg.
Yes.
Daryl, let's go to Daryl MAREE now and get his take on it. Daryl, I see that both PIERE and Darren are going with Double Mint. Is Double Mint also your first choice by any chance?
He's in my top 4, Clyde. Just to touch on this race, it is a conditions race, and the weights do favour Double Mint, followed by Etiob, and third best in is the filly Smoking Hot. To touch on the pace, there's going to be a very honest pace in this race. We've got the PE contender Etiob. He only knows one way of racing, and that is to string them along. He's a one-pace galloper. He's got no chance if he gets to the front end and he slows it down and tries to turn it into a sprint, because he doesn't have a sprint mode. So his only way is to go out there and try gallop them into the ground. So the pace is certainly going to be on. I like the look of number 3, Nebraska. He can be ridden forward from a neat draw. He could get there very comfortably and not exert any energy and save his energy, because he is trying the trip for the first time. But I think he's going to get the run of the race. And what I like about him is I don't believe we've seen the best of him yet. His first run as a gelding on the Turfing team inside track over 1600 was far too sharp for him, and it was a very eye-catching performance. Next time out, in my opinion, he ran below par in a very strong form line. And last time out, he was well positioned and he just cantered up the straight. It was effortless. So I don't believe we've seen the best of him, and I'm leaning towards Nebraska as an up-and-coming stayer in the ranks.
Okay.
I've got healthy respect for Bayberry, healthy respect for Double Mint, healthy respect for Warrior, Holy Warrior. They're all from Cape Town contenders, having their peak runs in the province, and they're very decent stayers. So those are my 3 I think will be chasing on Double Mint. Chasing on Nebraska, but I'm leaning towards Nebraska in a very open race.
Okay, so you're not worried about the 3,000. He's an up-and-coming stayer. That's the first leg of the pick 6 as we go on to race number 5 on the card now. Let's just quickly have a look at the market there. And that does show that number 8, Desert Miracle, is currently trading at 13.5 to 10, basically. 3, Kylene is at 7-2. 12 Mbewu is at 7-1, and then it's 14-1 and better about the others. This is the opening leg of the jackpot. So For the jackpot fans out there, get your jackpots on. Race number 5, it's the Zulu Kingdom Explorer. It's the Golden Slipper. It's for the juvenile fillies that they all look forward to and having a go. And just on the note, let me just quickly come to DARYN quickly. On the note of Desert Miracle, who's I also think is going to be very, very hard to beat. What I did notice about her win when her last start, she seemed to be green on the bend a bit and green in running, although she won very, very well.
Yes, she did race very green. She shifted around up the straight, but she won a good race. And she is a dynasty out of Walwichia. So she was looking for the 1400-meter trip. And she showed her class in the nursery by running a good second as a maiden that day. So I make her one of the better bets on the card, and we are taking our chances with Desert Miracle. The next best would be a horse like Kayleen. I'm not sure how strong that form's going to stand up of her last start, but she was running on strongly, and the rest of the race is wide open, but we're taking our chances on Desert Miracle. Okay,
Desert Miracle for DARYN. Striker, to bring you in here, having a look at the juvenile filly race, have you looked at anything in particular that you like? Is the favourite your first choice?
She's obviously a big runner. I'm just worried about draw 8. Kayleen is well drawn. At Gravel over this distance, it's very important to be drawn well. You just have the run of a race, and it gives you lengths on form. So I'm going to go with only the 2 horses, Desert Miracle and Kayleen.
So 2 horses for you, 3 and 8. Daryl, your take on Desert Miracle and Kayleen?
Yeah, Clyde. Desert Miracle on form sticks out like a sore thumb. DARYN touched on her run in the nursery. She put many lengths clear of the balance of the field. I know that the Ellen Robertson winner, Grade 1 winner under your spell, ran below par on that occasion. But the fact of the matter was she contested a race like that. So it just shows you the strength of the field on that occasion. I like the fact that she's now had bend experience. And last time out, she was ridden forward. She went up handy. Although she took a awkward stride at the top of the straight, she gathered herself quickly.
Yeah,
and
what was that from? Was that being green, or was that just a stumble?
Maybe she saw something, or she probably stumbled, or I'm not too sure. But she gathered herself well and she ran to the line. And if you like her on form, you'll like her even more just because of her breeding. I mean, she is bred in the purple, and I'm expecting her to go on to bigger and better things. Kayleen, now in her favor, like Striker said, she's got the racing experience, and she's going to be well positioned. And she should get the run of the race. So you've got to respect her chances, but I think there's daylight between the form lines. So she's got to work cut out to win, but certainly be in the placings. And then fillies like number 1 MAREE, she actually beat a very fancied first timer on debut, and she did it comfortably. If this race doesn't come too soon, she's got money claims. And number 12, Mbewu, she's got a lovely elastic stride on her. She came out a little bit slow on debut. If she comes out slow on this occasion, she might have more horses. She might find herself with more horses in front of her than behind her, turning into the short gravel straight. So she could have a work cut out to run down a horse like Desert Miracle, but she could certainly finish into the trifecta and quartet. I'm all in over here with the favorite Desert Miracle. I think she's one to follow going forward too.
Okay, excellent. All right, so Desert Miracle. Striker worried a little bit about the draw with regard to her, although she's got a massive winning chance.
She comes into 7, Clyde. She comes into 7.
Oh, she comes into 7 because of the scratch. Okay, yeah. So that is what that will help her slightly. But you do need as close to the rail draw as possible. Yeah. All right. Well, the pick 6 on the card. There's the opportunity for everybody now that you guys might want to have a quick look at, and you can take a look at the target as far as the guys are concerned. A 12 million rand pick 6 pool. Let's chat about the races on the card. I see I think we've put the pick 6 pool up for you to have a look. I beg your pardon. I wanted to just show you that Desert Miracle we've spoken about, Bayberry, next event on the card, Castletown. Now let's talk about this, the Durban Golden Horse. over the 1400 again for the 2-year-old colt. And I'll come to Striker in this particular event and ask him what he thinks. I mean, there's been a lot of talk here about this horse Castletown, who, you know, one first time out, and apparently very, very impressively.
Yeah, you know, I found that Greyville, sometimes not the best horse wins. The horse with the best experience sometimes beats a better horse, because you want to be able to jump out the fence, have a position, and kick for home in that short straight. So I'll make this a very difficult race. I think you got to put in as many horses as possible, because there's nothing that stands out in my opinion. So these horses are young, they're improving, but some are still inexperienced. So I will go wide in this race.
So go low, eh? All right, so we're not going to take any chances from Striker's perspective. Daryl, to come to you, how do you see the Durban Golden Horseshoe?
Yeah, Clyde. Obviously, a lot of unexposed horses over here. So you'd like to go as many as possible out, but I think we've narrowed it down to a sufficient number of approximately 5 or 6 runners. I really want to touch on the gold medallion form line, the grade 1 form, because Gallic Chief spearheads the trifecta that met on that occasion. Now, he's got a very wide draw to contend with. He'll need a lot of luck in running, but who says he's not going to get that? So you have to respect his chances. Then you've got number 12, Good Traveller. Now, in his penultimate start, having his first run as a gelding, they opted to give him a chance, and he finished his race off very well. So he's not a tearaway type. He could be given a chance from that wide draw, and I expect him to finish in the money. But out of those 3, I'm leaning towards the 25-1 shot. It's About Time. Now, I really believe he's better than his latest effort in the sticky conditions. You just have to go back to his Cape win in the maiden ranks and look at that form line. It just pops out at you. He beat a very, very decent sort on that occasion, and he did it comfortably. So if he gets a clean break from a neat draw, I think he's the biggest improver in the field. You have to respect the chances of Castletown. He did it. He did it the way the connections expected him to do, because he was heavily supported and he delivered the goods on that occasion. But going into that race, the connection said it might be a touch too short for him. And I know it's an extra 200 meters, which will be in his favor, but that was against weaker. So ultimately, he's going to be looking for further. I think if he gets beat on Saturday, it probably is because of the inexperience and the distance being too sharp for him, because he does look like a lovely one for future. It looks like he could have a lot of talent. And one other one I want to touch on is AJ's captain. He was very disappointing in the Sledgehammer, but he's a big, strong son of Futura. I think he's more effective when he's ridden aggressively. If he gets to the front, I wouldn't be surprised to see him fight at the finish. But I'm leaning towards a grade 1 gold medallion form over here. It's About Time at 25-1, a small each way for me.
Okay, so watch out for the 5 from Daryl's side. And Darren, just your take on this 2-year-old colt event. I see that one of the fillies in the race here, Twice the Trip, decided to go for the colts race.
Yes, I see that, but I'm not too strong on that form line. Castletown won a really good race. He is a Silvana out of Queens Bay. So I actually played against him that day. I thought he would never have the speed to go with him. And he quickened up smartly to win. The extra 200 meters and the fact that he cracks a good draw, it brings him right into the race with a good chance. And then the gold medallion form I also followed of the rest. It's About Time was actually a value bet of mine last time. And he had respiratory noises last time. He ran 5.5 lengths behind Amberix, but his run before that in Cape Town was really impressive, and he beat a quality field. So if there's going to be a pick 6 result, we have thrown in It's About Time at 25-1. And then Gallic Chief, he tried to savage a horse late in the gold medallion. He still stayed on at the finish. If he can overcome the draw with his natural speed, he comes into the race, and Good Traveller, the best of the rest.
Yeah. Striker, thanks for that, Darren. So Striker, just to ask you, the draw at Greyville, is it absolutely imperative? I mean, over 1400
Yes.
and 1600 and the 1000, 12. How big a deal is the draw at Gravel?
It's probably in the whole country, gravel with 1400 and especially the mile would be like huge, because you're jumping away on the bend, and you can jump well, but if the guys on the inside don't jump well, they just keep you wide all the way. So you either have to force your horse to go harder in the beginning, or you drop back, so then you've got too much to make up. So it's very important. But I mean, I think like DARYN was saying, if you get a bit of luck, then the bad draw doesn't bother you at all. But
Right.
you need luck. How do you know if you're going to get the luck? That's my worry.
100% correct. You know they're saying that a ton of knowledge is equal to an ounce of luck. Okay, Striker. So you guys, DARYN, DARYL, the Vodacom Durban July, one of the big build-up pools will be the Quartet, where they're anticipating 8 million rand on the card, and that's running on the 7th of the 7th race. It's off at 3 o'clock. So have a look at our top of that hour. Hopefully everybody's got their bets on. And one of the important factors is, I think it's important everybody get their bets on early. You don't want to be in a situation where you haven't got your bets on early. And I think that's very, very, very important. So please be aware of the situation that is going on around you. And I wouldn't wait for the last minute to get your bets on. But here's the latest as far as the market is concerned. 14 got the green light, is top of the boards at 33-10. 7 linebackers 15-4. 1 Rainbow Bridges 8-1. 16 Do It Again is at 15-2. 6 Rascallion 17-2. And Bulgarian, the 11 horse, at 15-1. Comedy Dung, number 18, is 16-1, and then 25-1 Sovereign Spirit, and 33-1, and better about the rest of the field. I'm going to come to DARYN. I'll start with you first, DARYN. And let's talk about this particular race. What is your first choice to win the Vodacom Durban July?
My first 2 choices to win the race are Do It Again and Rascallion. The pace of the race, let's start with the pace. We got Crown Towers, Shah Akbar, Cirillo likes to go handy, Running Brave. Those are pretty much the speed horses in the race. Do It Again, I see sitting in the second half of the field. But if the pace is decent, he'll be running on really strongly. And with 57.5 kilos this year, I make him just about the best weighted horse in the race.
Right.
Of the 3-year-olds, I'm favoring Rascallion. I was really impressed with his gallop with linebacker. He was traveling hard against the steel. I know he hasn't won a feature race, this horse, but he's run very close up in the big ones. And I think there's a lot more to come from Rascallion. Of the rest of them, a lot of others come into the race. You can't ignore horses like Linebacker, Rainbow Bridge at the weights. I think he's got a bit to do, as he did last year, but you can't ignore him. And then horses like Comedy Dung from an 18 gate, if he has a bit of luck from the draw. And then the money horse Sovereign Spirit, who's shortened from 40-1 down to 18-1 or 20-1.
Okay.
He's only had really one good run in this level of racing. That was in the Met, where he ran well above his rating at level weights, 3rd behind Rainbow Bridge. And now he receives 6 kilos from Rainbow Bridge. And he does stay the 2200 meters. He won the consolation race last year. So if there's going to be a spook, I see Sovereign Spirit being that one.
Okay, interesting. All right, so you Do It Again, Rascallion.
And then I just want to mention, got the green light.
Yeah.
They did drop his rating again from carrying 57 kilos back to 55 kilos.
Yeah.
It makes him very well in at the weights, and he's got to be a massive runner.
Okay, absolutely. On the gallops, I did take note, I must tell you, of Rascallion's gallop that I saw. I was very impressed. And the other one got the green light. I thought those were the best gallops from what I picked up. I'm going to now go to DARYL. DARYL, your take on the Vodacom Durban July, your first choice. What will win this year?
Clyde, I'm going to be with the Vaughan Marshall coupling. I think the 3-year-olds. Firstly, we're going to touch on the pace. I think Crown Tower was, in my opinion, is there to ensure a decent sort of gallop. I mean, he is owned by the same nose, do it again. And to be honest, if you ask Justin Snaith, who's his leading lights in the race, I'm sure it's do it again. And Crown Towers is possibly a top 10 contender. They're not in this, you can't mention them in the same breath. So the pace is going to be on. Now, how can you fault a horse's form like Linebacker? In my opinion, he was desperately unlucky in the Cape Guineas. He was caught 3 wide. He then went on to win the Cape Derby impressively. He won the WSB Guineas in a canter. And last time out, he wasn't asked the question in the Daily News. Some people are questioning why did he hang towards the inside. But Vaughan Marshall has assured me that he was just looking for company and nothing to be concerned about whatsoever. So he comes into the race on a high. He's in cracking form. He's a horse that's easily positioned. He's got a great barrier position. He could just be placed off them, and he's got an excellent turn of foot. So, and I think his biggest danger is his companion. Now, they've met on 5 occasions, and Linebacker has beaten them all 5. He's 0 from 5, Rascallion. So in his favor, he's possibly a better horse now as a gelding. And in his favor, there's no fans on course because he tends to get sweated up, and he could possibly just be a little bit more relaxed on race day. But last time out, he was closing in, and he was really finishing off that race smartly. So he's going to love the extra, and he's a really, really nice horse in the making. I think those are the 2 to fight it out. And I always, when it comes to grade 1s, I love the perfect preparation leading to the race. And that's why I'm favoring them over a horse like Got the Green Light, because he now hasn't had a race. I don't know, we'll get to Traka's opinion, but he's not racing fit for the last 2 months. He hasn't had an actual race. So for that reason, and that reason only, I'm leaning towards the 3-year-olds. But there is some collateral form line. Last time I Got the Green Lights, gave second base 2 kilograms and a 3/4 of a length beating, and second base ran in the Daily News, and it finished about 3 lengths off Linebacker. So I don't believe there's much between them on a line through second base. Others I want to touch on. I want to touch on a 60-to-1 shot of here, Clyde, Cirillo. If you Got the Green Light, you have to give Cirillo a place chance. I mean, he just finished behind him in the Premier's Champions Challenge. He's a kilogram better off. There's no reason why he shouldn't be alongside him once again. And Sovereign Spirit at the weights with Dirt again. He's also one for quartet inclusion. But I'm leaning towards the 3-year-olds of here. I think Linebacker is something special, and I'm hoping he can follow up on his recent form.
Okay. So, Striker, as you can hear, I've left the dogs are barking. So what are the dogs barking here, Striker, to win the Vodacom Durban July?
Well, we haven't discussed anything before the show, and I was so glad to hear DARYL say he likes the 3-year-olds, Linebacker and Rascallion, because those are exactly my fancies. I think the 3-year-olds have done exceptionally well this year against the old horses. Time again, they've proven that they're a good bunch. And I just went Linebacker and Rascallion as my first 2. Linebacker accelerates extremely well, and I think he's going to, well, obviously he loves Gravel, and so even if he finds himself a little bit further back, he can make it up at Gravel. Rascallion, I would say, very similar, and I think it's going to be a Vaughan Marshall July this year. Well, I'm holding thumbs for him. If I go any further, I would say obviously Got the Green Light. Looks like he's got a nice weight, and he's a multiple grade 1 winner. He ran second last year. Can you fault him? I think he'll finish just behind the 3-year-olds. And then Rainbow Bridge, drawn 1. Just giving, like, he's got top weight, so now he's giving away weight where before in many races he's carried level weights. Then it's funny, we're all saying the same thing. My Ruffy Sovereign Spirit. He's been beaten only a couple of lengths on numerous occasions at level weights. Now he's getting a lot of weight. So Comedy Dung, he is the 3-year-old. So I should have put him in line with Linebacker and Rascallion, but because he's drawn so wide, and I know Gavin's going to try and ride 53, I'm not so sure if he's going to get there. So he's obviously going to, he might be a little bit overweight, who knows? Bad draw, and that's why I'm putting in the top 6, but not to fight it out.
Just similarly to London News, if I can go back to almost 20 years ago, whatever it may be, or 25 years ago, when London News never had a great draw when you jumped him, and I think you moved him forward early, if I recall the race correctly. And
yeah, I think we were drawn 11, but yeah, but I think we were drawn 11, but London News was a natural front runner. He had a great gate speed, and his cruising speed in the beginning was so natural. I mean, you could get a position within 100, 200 meters. He was basically traveling up front against the bit, and obviously from there we took over and skipped for home. But I'm not sure if Comte Dung, if they want him to go to the front. So you know, he's going to now have to try and get in where and get a bit luck, and that's not always going to happen with such a big field. In my opinion, actually too many runners for the July, for Gravel, Gravel racetrack. But I suppose it comes once a year, and everyone wants to run in the July, so sure. That's why the fields are so big.
Yeah, okay. Can I just ask you a question? So we know that Luke and Rainbow Bridge get on like a house on fire, right? He's obviously worked him out, and he likes to come out slowly now and get him to settle, and he doesn't tend to pull like he used to do in his early career. So from that one barrier position, if Luke tries to bounce him and hold his position from that draw, he might tend to over race again, or if he comes out softly, you might find 6 or 7 in front of him on the fence. Isn't that the worst possible draw for Rainbow Bridge?
Yeah, it's not a great draw, but he's a tough horse because he needs to get cover quickly. Draw 1 might not be the worst, but in saying that, if he's going to try and keep his position, Rainbow Bridge might pull. But if he doesn't jump him well and keep his position, he might get cut off by half the field. So I understand exactly what you're saying, but I don't know. Rainbow Bridge is a tough horse. I'd rather have a good draw, and you know, the other horses come around him and give him cover straight away where he doesn't pull. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. But you know that if he comes out softly and he gets other horses to come around him, he's going to have to give them starts and wait, and he's going to really have to run. He's going to have to run the race of his life to run them down in the straights. I think he's got his worst.
That's why I'm leaning towards the place, because I think he, probably get cover and then run on strongly, but might not be able to get there. In my opinion, the July winner will always come from the first half of the field, or maybe 2/3 of the field. If you come from way back, it's very difficult in a short straight to beat the top horses in the country giving start. So also that are racing a little bit handier, I would normally favour for the July.
If you had to choose the ideal barrier position, I know it all depends on what horse you're riding or what type of horse. Where would you love to be drawn?
I would say between 7 to 10, because you sort of away from the fence, and you're not going to get all that much scrummaging. So it gives you a bit of space to maneuver a bit, to stay away from the fence till they settle down, but also not that wide that is costing you ground.
Yeah.
There we go. The dogs are barking and they're speaking and they're talking about it and they're having a go. That's great. So, basically, at the end of the day, if you had to take a ride in the he's gone and sort the dogs out. It's all right. Let them bark. It's not a problem. It's all good.
Yeah.
They sound great. So if you had to take a ride in the Vodacom Durban July, your ride would be linebacker. Is basically what
I would be linebacker, just because I think the horse can accelerate so well, nice weight, and the 3-year-olds, in my opinion, are better than the old horses.
Okay, well, I'll give my opinion later on when we wrap up our selection. What is bound to be after the Vodacom Durban July, of course, the best race on the day. Having a look at the Johnson Workwear Garden Province, I mean, this is just very, very exciting. War of Athena, we know how brilliant she is and what she's done. multiple, I mean, the Group 1s, etc., that she's managed to bank, and Captain's Ransom, just looking at her with the opportunities that she's, or limited opportunities ultimately, when you assess her form and watch how she moves, she's almost, to say the word, flawless. I mean, she really does seem to be really very, very good. And I suppose the question here, and Strikes, I'm going to stay with you. I'll stay with you for now. Is it a two-horse race, a War of Athena, Captain's Ransom? Is it down to those two?
On form, yes, because it's not a handicap, it's set weights, and on merit rating, they're way above the rest. But because of the draw, it's over the mile. I mean, you go 10 meters and we start turning, and if you caught that, if you drawn that out wide, you just need so much luck to get a position. So you either have to force yourself really too much, or drop too far back, and obviously I'm talking about War of Athena and Captain's Ransom.
Yes, yes.
But the fact that War of Athena has drawn 1 pole position over that mile, I mean, she's going to have the ideal position for nothing. She's not going to have to spend any energy to get a position, where Captain's Ransom is just going to have to be forced to get a handy position or drop so far back. So in my opinion, one-horse race, War of Athena.
One-horse race for you, War of Athena. And there will be a pace in the race, Striker, over the mile. I mean, they're not going to sit and pull and slow things down over this, not for this race, surely not.
You just never know. I mean, like Musi might jump War of Athena out well because it's drawn 1, and then all of a sudden one horse comes in front of you and eases back, you know. So you just don't know. But I think War of Athena will get the position that she wants. If they go fast, she can be a little bit further back, but she'll be where she wants to be. If they go slow, she'll be handy, but where she wants to be. So, and I'm only going on the draw because Captain's Ransom obviously is a top filly. Right. But that draw, in my opinion, over mile at Gravel is vital. Okay.
It's amazing how crucial the draw is. DARYN, let me bring you in now and talk about the Garden Province, the Johnson Werwick Garden Province. DARYN, your take of it. I know that from Cape Town, Captain's Ransom, and I know you've also been a very big fan of Princess Keller as well. But you've been honest with War of Athena too. You know, you've labelled her a few times, DARYN.
Yes, for sure. What a race. War of Athena's got the draw, and I think her stablemate's going to make the pace. Only the Brave from a 14 draw. They're probably going to chase her up and get her up there. War of Athena, I don't think will sit too far back. And horses like Captain's Ransom, I believe Captain's Ransom is maybe narrowly a better miler than War of Athena. But from the 13 draw, it makes things so difficult. She's going to have to, either he's going to have to chase her up and try and get one off the fence, or sit back and come with a late run. So she's got it all to do. So I'm going to favor War of Athena. And then Princess Keller, if you saw her last start behind War of Athena, she cruised up at the 300, yes, and then she didn't see out the trip. Okay. So back over the mile, if she can get a couple of lengths off them turning for home, she'll be staying on really strongly. I think I picked 6. We've put 1, 9, and 13 to be safe. But I think War of Athena from the 1 draw is going to be hard to beat. Yeah, interesting. But I suppose you're right. Yeah, I guess you'll be worried about Captain Ransom's draw. That would be worrying you, I guess. Princess Keller, I see drawn out at 9. All right, so Daryl, to finalise it, Striker making War of Athena hard to beat on the draw. We know how good Captain's Ransom is. DARYN does believe that Princess Keller could be a pick 6 horse. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm interested. I just want to ask Clyde, I just want to ask Pierre a question. He says it's a one-horse race because of the draw. Now, I want to ask him, if you swap the draws, right? If you pick Captain's Ransom drawn 1 and War of Athena drawn 13, is it still a one-horse race for Captain's Ransom?
Yes.
Okay. So
the draw is... I'm only going back to War of Athena because of the draw. Captain's Ransom, obviously, even better handicap than War of Athena. But in my opinion, the draw is so vital over a mile. It's many lengths.
Okay. Well, we've got some collateral form over here on a line through Princess Kala and Chaching. There shouldn't be much separating War of Athena and Captain's Ransom. Negative, in my opinion, for War of Athena. I think she's not at her best over a mile. I think 1800, 2000 is her ideal trip. So there is, in my opinion, a negative over War of Athena, but obviously the negative over Captain's Ransom is the draw. But Captain's Ransom is a top miler. That's her game. And we've got Richard Free in the irons. She may just get over. I heard Justin Snade say that they're going to be giving her a chance from that wide draw. In my opinion, she's going to go forward. I don't think they want to give War of Athena too much start. Yeah. So I see Captain's Ransom bouncing positively and being put in the race. And she's a really top-class sort. So very, very difficult, in my opinion, to separate them. But because of the draw, War of Athena might just, obviously, she should get the run of the race. But I don't believe Princess Kala's out of it, Clyde. Back over a mile, she tends to over-race when she goes further. If she can settle nicely and get a great position, she could be the joker in the pack to upset the apple cart over here. She's very, very talented on her day. She's racing fit. She's got a lot in her favor, and especially now that she's back in the mile. So, yeah, like you say, a great race to look forward to. I really think Captain's Ransom might just prove that she is the best miler in the country.
Okay, very interesting. She is very good. She's brilliant, Captain's Ransom. I think Princess Kala is very good. I think War of Athena is certainly versatile. I mean, to deny Queen Supreme, for example, victory, we know how good Queen Supreme is over the mile, and War of Athena may have been a little while ago, not that long ago, but War of Athena did beat one of the best you've ever seen in Queen Supreme over the mile. So this is going to be a great race. PIERE Strydom making a statement. It's all about the draw. And that leads us to the final leg of the pick six, if I can take us there now quickly. And we can just have a look at that. And this is, of course, the Post Merchants, the race number 9 on the card. Hopefully, we're running in our pick sixes in this Grade 2 event, where MK's Pride, they put the blinkers on number 3 on the card. First time blinkers, currently priced up at 2-1. And I'm just of the view with the blinkers going on, MK's for the first time, 1,400, I beg your pardon, 1,200 at Greyville. It's a sharper, faster. I think it's just to sharpen up MK's Pride, in my opinion. I think that's why they put the blinkers on. He's in very good form. And I actually think, personally, I think he's very hard to beat. 2 Ultra Magnus, a 6-1. 9 Captain Tatters, a 7-1. 11 Sing for Rafa, 9-1, with the 13 Casimir, 9-1. And 20-1 and better the others. All right, Daryl, let's start with you and just bring you in here. What do you make final leg? You want to be running in the pick six now. What's your first choice here?
Yeah, Clyde. Let's just say the pace is going to be on over here, because Sing for Rafa, she's really lightning fast. So there is going to be a cracking pace. And MK's Pride, he's got a lot of pace in himself, and he's got a great draw. He should be perfectly positioned. But we don't know the effect that the blinkers are going to have. We're taking into account that he should run his usual great race, if not better. So if they have the desired effect, he certainly is the horse to beat over here, because he should get a great position, and he's very, very good. He's very talented.
Just to butt in there, PIERE can help us here, but I don't know the statistics, but I think the majority of horses, when blinkers come on for the first time, they improve majority of the time. I think it's probably there's a minority that they might run badly because they haven't tried it, they didn't like it, and we'll ask PIERE in a minute. But I don't see any reason why, with blinkers first time, why MKs will go backwards. I think, if anything, it's only going to make him better.
Yeah, is there any time? So you carry on, Daryl?
Sorry, PIERE. Listen, I'd rather have blinkers on for the first time in a race over a sprint than going over over ground,
Absolutely.
because you don't know the actual pace that they're going to go over ground, and some of them tend to over race and just fall in a hole. So I'd rather see first time blinkers in a sprint. So that's what I'm saying. If they do the desired effect, last time he was running around a bit at Scottsville, he finished towards the outside. So if he's keeps his mind on the job, he's certainly a live wire over here. But in saying that, Ultra Magnus at this course and distance, he's no pushover. I mean, he's unbeaten over this course and distance. And if you just have a look at his last start at Greyville, I think he ran behind Rainbow Bridge in the drill hall, and second was Catch 22. Now they came out and ran 1-2 in the Gold Challenge. Great form. And then Ikigai on his day, I know we haven't seen him at his best recently, but we know that he's more than capable. So I think the race lies between those two, the 1, 2, and 3. But obviously, I'm rooting for MK's Pride, being trained by Paul Peter up here on the Highveld. He's certainly my first choice, but I have got healthy respect for Ultra Magnus and Ikigai.
Okay, so that's your view on. And Striker, you were going to make a comment about the blinkers. Let's hear what your view on that is.
Yeah, I think the negative about blinkers is when a horse over races. But MK's Pride shouldn't over race, not over this distance, because it's a fast run race normally, and he's a bit of a lazy guy. I've watched a couple of his races, and I rode him, I think his second start when he ever ran, and so the blinkers should help him, and I think it's just to keep him a little bit into the race. Obviously the draw is huge, and he's the one to beat, but I would definitely backing up with Ultra Magnus because of the draw. And once again, maybe everyone thinks that DARYN I spoke before, we haven't, but also would add Ikigai just as a druffy, because if you look past those three, they've all got good draws, but if you look past those three, then it's wide open, then it's luck in running.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3 for you in not in that particular order, but that's as far as the final leg of the pick six for your pick six, Striker. DARYN, let's touch on the final leg of the pick six running with you now. Is MK's your first choice?
Well, he's actually one of my best bets on the card, MK's Pride. The draw is a big bonus. From a 3 draw, he runs with pace, but over the 1200, he seems to hit a flat spot at the 400, and then he gathers his stride again, and he quickens. He's got a lovely action. I do believe he's a 1400 meter specialist, as he even got the green light in the Y stakes over the 14, but the 1200 is not a problem. And I like the fact that they put the blinkers on just to sharpen him up, get him closer to the pace, and then he can accelerate up in the home stretch. So for me, MK's Pride, a very hard horse to beat. Horses to consider for the placings. There wasn't much separating him and Captain Tatters on that last run. But Captain Tatters doesn't seem like he likes the winner's box. He always runs in the money. If it's a weak field, he gets beat. A strong field, he gets beat. He's just one of those horses. I see Gainsford comes into a 5 draw, and his last start, he blew the start, and he was running on late. And with only 52 kilos, he could have an outside chance. But for me, MK's Pride, one of the better bets on the card. I think he'll win.
Okay, interesting. Right, let's get into the business part of the race now, if you want to call it that, and see what the story is. Here we go. We can show as far as our bets are concerned, the bar pot. Let's take a look at what the guys want to look at here. We'll have a look at a 560 Rand perm for everybody. That's basically what the guys have worked out. Those are the numbers on the screen at the moment. We're in the first leg. That's a second race on the card. The team are bankering number 6. And then you'll see further on there's the banker of the 8. And then we've loaded on the other 4 legs, the Desert Miracle, of course, being the one of the 2 bankers in the bar. And then
Clyde, just before you change the slide, sorry.
Yes.
I just want to say for the viewers, if they do want to cut it down a bit, DARYN and PIERE are very keen on doublemint, right? They're very keen on doublemint. That's in the 3rd leg, and I'm keen on their brass. So if the viewers are willing to take a gamble, that leg where we've got 7 horses in the third leg.
Yes.
If you want to take a tighter perm, just go for the 3 Nebras and the 15 double mint in a tighter perm.
So you could go 315 if you wanted to narrow down that leg, if you thought that we were over catering over there. But otherwise, you're banking Andrew Fortune's horse in that second race, and then that Desert Miracle is the 8 horse. That's the bar pot. All right, the pick 6, that's what you guys have worked out as far as the pick 6 is concerned, and big on Desert Miracle. That's the banker horse as far as the team is concerned. That's their play, and that ultimately is what we're going to be depending on. The rest of the, as you'll notice, they've loaded up with all of the other legs in the pick 6. We're hoping to catch. Yes, MK, we like a lot, so you could maybe take 2 pick 6s and narrow it down at the back if you want to. Here with a second last leg, you may not believe Princess Cal is necessary, so you could cut down. It's up to you. This is just added value for you guys to think about how you want to structure your pick 6 on the day. Then we've got, what have we got after that for everybody? I've got put the play of the day. Darren, I'll come to you quickly, and you can just take us through how you recommend we should invest our money on Saturday.
Yeah, so obviously my early punt for the day is my value bet, the Gatekeeper. He proved how good he is in the Derby in the Cape when running 2 lengths off Linebacker and Rascallion. He's a quality horse. He's had the 2 runs in Durban. He was a bit disappointing, but he was staying on late in the Daily News. I believe if he disappoints again on Saturday, I think he needs gelding, but I'll give him another chance as my value bet. My best bet's Desert Miracle, race 5, number 8, and MK's Pride, race 9, number 3. And then my floating banker quartet for the Durban July, race 7, is floating banker Do It Again with horses 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 14, and 18. And my first 2 choices in the July are Do It Again and Rascallion.
Yeah. Okay, and that's a 1,344 rand quartet. Definitely worthwhile spending some money on the quartet, guys. Thank you for that, Darren, for that update. Daryl, I'll come to you now.
Yeah, Clyde, just with regards to the pick 6, if you don't want to take 2 perms, just throw a scratching in the last leg. And if MK's Pride does happen to win, you can double up.
Okay.
Just putting one of the scratchings in the last leg.
Fair enough.
My best bet, follow her and follow her with confidence. I'm expecting her to win this race quite comfortably. That's the Golden Slipper, Desert Miracle.
Yeah.
And then Nebras, I know it's a long race. You needed a lot of luck in running, and that's the reason why I'm leaning towards him, because I do believe he's going to get that luck in running. I think he's going to go forward off a galloping weight. His sire, 1/10 furlongs. His dam sire, 1/10 furlongs. I do believe he's going to see out the trip, and I don't believe haven't seen the best of him yet. So he's my value bets in the race. And the way I've structured the July quartet, I put 3 horses for first. I put Rascallion, Linebacker, and got the green lights. And then I've only narrowed it down to 9 runners for second, third, and fourth. And those are the numbers on screen.
Okay, that cost 1,008 rand. So that's your play of the day as far as the Vodacom Durban July is concerned. All right, so that's from Daryl. My selections quickly for the Vodacom Durban July. I'm going with Got the Green Light. I saw the gallop. I think he'll win it. I think hard to beat. Rascallion, I like the gallop very much. I think we'll run second. Comedy Ding, I think is going to run a forward race. He's a lovely looking horse. And I also like Cirillo. Lyle Hewitson on. I think they're going to run a big race with Sean Terry as well. Joey Somers, Got the Green Light. Rascallion, Vaughan Marshall, for Michelle Riggs, Comedy Ding, Cirillo, Sean Terry. I think that could be the way to go. Chances, they are paying 5 places, so don't forget that as far as the tote is concerned. I know we've left out big horses, but you know what? You've got to take some chances in life. But I'm not PIERE Strydom. This is PIERE Strydom. And Striker, you'll tell us. Let's take us through your selections on the slide there.
Yeah, basically quite easy. Like the 3-year-olds, Linebacker, Rascallion, because I think they strong crop this year. Got the green light. Obviously, he's won many grade 1 races already, nicely weighted. And then Rainbow Bridge, he's a top horse, he's a champion, and he should be running on. My best bet, War of Athena, basically because of the draw. And then double mint, I think he'll love the distance, easy horse to ride, a lot should go his way, the value bet.
Okay, Striker, just to ask you, do it again. He's not. He didn't make your top 4, eh?
I think it's so difficult for horse to win 3 Julys. It's never happened before, as far as I know. So I don't know if do it again. Can do it again.
Okay, interesting. All right, so that's Pierre's take on the call. So we want to thank him very, very much for that. And then just to remind you that this show, Pierre, I know, watches our show. You know, boys, Pierre watches our show every Friday night. Hey, Darren and Daryl? Doesn't miss a show.
It's the best show. It's the best.
Thank you, boy. Best show. And it gets lots of views. Thank you. You see, at least we've got one fan. We're lucky, which is nice to see. It's nice to see. But it's a pleasure, I have to say, to have Striker. I really appreciate, we as a team really appreciate you coming on board and making such a difference to the show. I mean, the July at the end of the day is great races that you won with London News and Trademark and Pomodoro, was it? And who was the other one? The Conglomerate. And to win your 5,000, I still remember putting the sash over your body with the 5,000 in Cape Town. Remember that? And taking, I mean, there's such wonderful memories of, and if I think when you go back to the days in the late 80s when you were riding and all those winners, you started like a bomb. That's where you got the name Striker from, because you came from dead last and you always passed them and you got up a short there just about every time. For a long time, that's how you used to ride. And then at one stage, you started changing tactics and go to the lead. At the end of the day, it's just been a great to be part of your career. And we all appreciate your contribution and input into racing. And we really hope you come back, because we need you back. Don't worry about your age. What's age? It's how you feel at the end of the day. You know, I mean, you and a horse go together like butter and bread, for goodness sake. So we need you back in the game, and it's great to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, Clyde, I just want to say something. Maybe this is in Pierre's favor that he's off, because, you know, with the career that he's had, he deserves to have some support and some people on course when he does his roadshow through the different provinces. So we'd like to get those courses, the people back on track. And when he does his roadshow through the different provinces, he deserves some people to back him and send him off and give him the farewell he deserves.
Absolutely, no doubt. Absolutely, no
And
doubt.
I want to mention something. When my horse is back on track, he's been off with the wind up. So he'll be back in 3 or 4 months' time. He was favourite last time out and he choked up. I would love to have PIERE Strydom come down and ride him first time back over 1,000 meters.
There you go, Striker. You got one of those 11 wins have already been made up. So you got a booked ride for you already. There you go.
Thank you. Easy game.
Nothing to worry about. Regards to the family, guys, thank you very much for watching, and may the best horse win on Vodacom Durban July Day. We appreciate your input. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Good night, guys.